Okay, what we're going to do is a quick summary of the stuff we talked about today in class. Share screen. Share. Okay, so today what we did is we introduced logarithms. Logarithms are basically the inverse of exponents. So if you really want to think about it, when you have a exponent, so if you have, y equals 2 to the x, let's say that's our exponential. The inverse of it, undoing it, is called a log. And the way that we do that is the way that this would be rewritten is it would be log 2 of y equals x. It's the way we undo it. It's like, so when you undo an addition with a subtraction, when you undo a multiplication with a division, you undo an exponent with a log. So there are some properties, and these are the properties that we know, that this number here inside the log always has to be a positive number. Can't be 0, can't be negative. It's always got to be positive. When we take the log of 1, it's always going to be 0. And the reason why it's always going to be 0 is the way we write these equations is this number, that's the base, raised to this number. So b raised to the 0 is going to, there's my equal sign, equal 1. And if you think about it, anytime you raise a number to the 0 power, you get 1. So if we take the log of 1, we're always going to end up with 0. It's another way of saying, what number do I raise something to get 1? The next one, we have log b. These are the same bases. It's going to equal 1. So again, using that same logic, b to the first power equals, because we're working our way back around, b. So anything to the first power is equal to itself. So 2 to the first is 2, 3 to the first is 3, and so on. The next one with my exponent is basically saying if these two are the same, that it's equal to the exponent. Because again, if you follow that logic, b to the k equals b to the k inside there. So the exponents are that. Basically, what the way students think about it is you really kind of cross those off and you're left with just the k. And this last one says b to the log b of v. So again, we got the b and the b, they're the same. It's the same idea as this. You can cross those off and you're left with b. So we did some of these basic properties just to kind of summarize. And if you look at them as we walk through them, what we have is we have the log of log a of 1, and that kind of follows this rule up here. When you take the log of 1, you're going to get 0. This one right here, so this kind of followed rule 2. This one right here follows rule 3. Rule 3 or property 3, log a of a is going to be 1. Log a of a to the negative 1, this one's going to be number 4. And it says if these are the same, it's basically kind of cancel out, if you will. It's not exactly that, but if you want to think about it that way, that's negative 1. The next one, we can't take the log of 0. This is according to property 1. This is going to be undefined. And as we walk our way through the rest of them, this one right here kind of follows the same logic as number 3. This follows this rule, log a of a is going to be 2. It's the exponent. This one is a special one we got to pay attention to. The square root of a is the same thing as a to the 1/2. Right now, these two bases aren't the same because the radical's there. But if I rewrite this as log a to the 1/2, those go ahead and I'm left with this is going to equal 1/2. This one right here, again, same logic, is going to be 3. This is a negative number, so again, I'm following rule 1. This is undefined. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit after this. Log a to the log a of 3. This is dealing with this rule 5 up here. Get rid of that. This is going to be equal to 3. And then we start sticking numbers in instead of letters. Log 5 of 5. This again is kind of following our property 3. If we have the same number, this is going to be equal to 1. This is following rule 4. 2 to the 2, get rid of those. This is going to equal 5. I want to focus on this next one because this is the next one that's a little bit tricky. It says log 2 of 8. These two numbers aren't the same. But what I can do is I can rewrite 8 using my table. And this would become log 2 of 2 cubed. We have the same 2s. You cross those off. and I'm left with 3. So if what ends up happening with there is I am changing the base so that I can actually solve this. So I will put up a second video that will kind of talk about the next one.